Namaste, Jai Bharat. We hear a lot of talks from many corners about Gaza, Israel, Palestine, but no talk about Sudan. If you see the noisemakers behind Gaza, Israel, Palestine, etc., are a simple group. This group consists of left, liberal, radical Islamists. These three trio may be not very explicitly connected, but they carry the similar thought structure when it comes to especially geopolitics. So they make all these narratives, but it's not convenient to them to discuss Sudan. And Sudan, if you remember a very famous photograph from Sudan, that's from Sudan, I don't remember, but very old enough, where a baby, a child, is about to die, and a vulture is just waiting very patiently for the death of that child. The moment the child dies, the vulture wants to eat. And the photographer, he photographed this, had to catch a flight, so he didn't bother to find out what happened, or he didn't bother to save the child. These are the narratives I came, and he was rushing the airport, and later he got a lot of awards for that photograph. But then later somewhere I read that he committed suicide for feeling guilty, etc., etc. I don't know how true or correct these narratives are. But then that photo, which was so famous, is from Sudan. So the situation in Sudan is like that way back from the 50s. There are predominantly two people in Sudan, Christians and Muslims, and they had continuously fought one another. Both were fighting for their righteousness. What is their concept of righteousness remains to be unpacked and remains to be made intelligible to people. But then the fighting went on until lot of talks, lot of people have put their effort in settling these kind of scores which they were making. Somewhere in 2011, some kind of settlement was reached. I'm not going into the details. Some kind of settlement was reached that there will be two Sudans. One is the South Sudan and another one is North, but which is called as Sudan per se. And actually the first quarrel or killing was between the Christians and Muslims, which went on for a long time. Then finally the South Sudan was earmarked for Christians somewhere in 2011, if I'm right, 2011. Then other Sudan was entirely given to Muslims. On the face of it, things should have settled by then. But nothing happened. The Christians, it's not that they are happy among themselves, but are less quarrelsome with one another on a comparison with Sudan, where two fractions of Muslims, not Sunni Shia, both are Sunnis, but then there's a racial difference between them. There's a difference between this Arab Muslims and our black African Muslims, Sudanese, and each one the Arab Muslims claiming superiority. I don't know to what extent they are Arab. I don't know really, but they claim superiority. Their war is going on, and 30 lakhs people die in a year, and within 10,000 or 25,000 people die in 3 days. Death to that extent, unimaginable flow of blood, which is captured. The rivers of blood flowing in satellite, you can imagine. If satellites could get the picture of blood flowing through roads, etc., You can imagine the situation. Don't imagine. This is beyond imagination, beyond redemption. Such unfortunate, sad incidents with mankind. That's what happens in Sudan. There is one Hamdan who is the chief of the one section of Muslims in Sudan, and there is Burhan who is chief of the Arab sections. Both are military officers. One is para, one is something else, regular armed force. And the real killing is between Sunni Muslims of Arab origin and Sunni Muslims of non-Arab origin. And to what extent one is Arab and is uncertain to me, I don't understand. But this is going on and is still continuing. And the women are raped. Women are raped in an unimaginable situation. Many of them are raped and left to die. And their bodies are simply buried, and not buried, burned in huge pits which were made. All that wildest things one can imagine is happening in Sudan. No one is crying about Sudan. No one is speaking about Sudan because the media is by and large controlled by the left liberal radicals. So they cannot speak of Sudan, but they want to speak about Israel. They will speak of genocide in Gaza. You tell me a single incident of an Israeli soldier raping a single person in Gaza. In Gaza, the Hamas were keeping women, children as human shield, which of course Israel won't bother to shoot at them. That of course if I am there, I would be the first person to do it. But it's a single instant. But weaponizing rape, explicitly they say, rape is used as a weapon. Weaponizing sexual assault is that which these people do. The story of Boko Haram and all those things is there, which is known to people. But why no one is talking about Sudan? Now this Sudan becomes little popular because of this blood flow. It's been caught in satellites. I can imagine the extent if it has been caught in a satellite image. It's unthinkable. It's miserable. I don't know. It's people who die. It's lives that are lost. They also have a right to live. No matter what they believe in, no matter which language they speak, no matter how black they look like. But people have a right to live. It's unfortunate, and the very biased, fetishized media is not bothered. We shall meet again. I certainly don't want to speak about this when we meet next time. We shall meet. Namaste. Jai Bharat, Jai Sri Ram.